Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of vitaminE. I am so sorry that I am just now doing another video. Life has definitely been lifing, but hopefully I can give you all more content. Today my topic will be talking about 13 ways to make your labor harder and longer. So just in case y'all want to do that, here's what you can do to make sure that happens. So number one, laying as flat as possible. That's a big no. That is something you do not want to do. Laying as still as possible, or even laying down and not being mobile during labor, is going to cause some very difficult, stressful times. Think about it. When you poop, do you lay down to poop? No. That sounds like strain. That sounds like constipation. That sounds like hemorrhoids. None of which are fun to have. So why would you do that to push out a baby or let a baby come out? That's defying gravity. That means you will literally not be doing what you need to do at all. That's not doing what you need to do at all. That is going to mess up some things. Literally, that's gonna cause tearing. That's gonna cause a lot of things you want to try your best to avoid. They can even stall labor if you're on your back because you're not working with gravity. You're going against it rather than working with it. Think about that. Number two, know nothing about what happens in labor. You would be surprised how many women literally have no idea what happens in labor. That's crazy, right? Because it's really your doctor's job to tell you that, but they're not going to tell you all of this stuff unless you ask, and then sometimes they can get annoyed. So that is why you get a doula or somebody that can help you or talk to you and tell you like, hey, these are the norms of labor. These are not. Once I realized that a lot of my moms actually have no idea what's going on in labor, even if they've had children before or not, they just know they're doing it. I started doing classes and teaching them like, hey, these are the norms during labor. These are what these hormones do. This is what, these are the stages of labor. This is what happens in every stage. This is what can happen to you or what you can do during labor. It doesn't matter if it's home or a hospital. It can happen either way. But I notice a lot of women literally do not have any type of idea what to do during labor. And that's crazy. Literally, because it seems like doctors would prepare you more for that, but they don't. That is why you have to reach out to other sources to help you so that you will know, because if not, you're going to be confused. You're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be like, okay, why is this taking so long? What's happening now? You're literally not going to know anything, which is going to cause stress. But if you knew, you'd be more likely to be like, okay, I'm cool. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm at right now in my labor. And it's going to be way more stress-free. Next, be tense and scared as possible. Literally, this is going to probably stop labor. Just saying, it's going to stop it. You cannot be tense and scared during labor. Yes, it's different, but you should be in an environment where it's comfortable, where you're going to be as less scared as possible. Being scared and everything also comes with not knowing what's going on, who going to do what, horror stories, listening to other people, not having the right support group, not having the right tribe. All of this literally goes into being scared and tense as possible. You can actually tense up so much that you stop labor, and then that's a problem by itself if your water has already broken, because that means your baby's literally in there with no way to breathe, really. Kind of. That's a different subject. But so literally, you need to not be scared. You need to do something that's going to release stagnant energy, which is basically negative energy or energy you do not need. You need something that's going to release that. So being scared as tense as possible is not a good thing to be. Try to find a way to cope. Breathing methods, all type of things like that. Music, smells, things like that will kind of relax you and get you in a better place. Next thing is being dehydrated. Oh my gosh, even if you're not pregnant or not in labor, this is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you. Our body is made up of so much water that if we go below that line, our body's probably not working correctly. So think about that in pregnancy. You're hot, you sweat, you have to literally be hydrated. You have to keep your energy up during labor, which is why I'm like, doctors, hospitals don't want you to eat during labor. Yeah, because they're prepping you for a C-section. With my clients at home, I encourage eating. I encourage eating watery fruits and soups and things like that, because you have to keep your energy up. You cannot get dehydrated or you will be in no place to push, because you've literally exhausted yourself. If you have no water or no minerals or nutrients in your body, you're not going to be in a place to push. You're going to have no energy whatsoever. Then that comes to having to be hooked up with IVs and fluids, and that brings a whole bunch of other stuff you do not need while you're in labor. The next thing is going to the hospital too soon. That's definitely going to be a no. Why? Because you're just going to be sitting up there and it's just going to be long. It's just going to be like, oh my gosh, like this is annoying. The environment up there is not someplace you want to be in for too long. I'm going to just say that. So you should just try to avoid doing that. What I tell my clients, let me know when you're about 5 or 4 minutes apart with your contractions, depending on the location that they are in, so that I can make sure I make it there. When you around 5, 4, it ain't gonna take long for your little one to get here. So going to the hospital too soon can be a bad thing. So, and it might not even be contractions. Well, it might be Braxton Hicks. That's why you have to know the difference between them, which I also teach, so that you'll know the difference if they're Braxton Hicks or they're like the real thing, like the baby's coming right now contractions. The next thing is use panic breathing. If I'm doing that, yeah, that's not okay. That is going to strain you. That is going to mess up your heart. That's going to mess up your lungs. It's going to mess up everything. What we do is practice deep breathing. Deep breathing is going to be your best friend, because you're going to breathe with your contractions instead of going against it. You can't do, you're going to run out of breath. You ain't going to be able to breathe, and being in labor and can't breathe is not going to be a good thing for you. So definitely deep breathing, not panic breathing. That is not going to get you anywhere. That's actually probably going to raise your blood pressure. Next thing is having a negative outlook. Oh my gosh, women have such a negative outlook. And again, it's not your fault. If you had a baby before and you saw that wasn't it, you're probably going to have a negative outlook. Who you involve in your circle, who you've been letting feed you all this negativity about labor and pregnancy and all this stuff. All that plays a part, because you're going to be rethinking that while you're in labor. Having a negative outlook is probably going to give you a negative experience. That's just how it is. That's just how it's set up. A negative outlook will give you a negative experience. So you have to have a positive experience. See what you can gain from it. What I do with my moms, even if they are at the hospital, I try to make their labor as closest to what they want as possible. That is my job, to make sure that you're as comfortable as you can be. Usually if they're at home, they're going to be comfortable. But even if you're at the hospital, what can you do to make this a good space and make this your space? Another thing is no use of no structure, concentration, relaxation. If you just up in there intense, you ain't got no meditation going, no concentration, you just airware, it's not gonna work out. It's just not. If you don't do a hospital tour, that's gonna be horrible. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. If you have different things that you want for your labor, you need to call the hospital you plan to give birth in. You be like, hey, do y'all offer this, and this? What's y'all policy on this, and this? You got to have questions lined out, because if you get up there and it's not what you want, you're going to be in some turmoil, because you're going to be pissed off, because they're going to be like, nah, you can't do that. I don't care if it is in your birth plan. Then you're going to be pissed because you don't know your birth rights. Another thing is do not eat and drink when you need to do so. I already talked about that. You should be eating and drinking during labor. You should not have anything. Okay, we already talked about that. Creating adrenaline in the first stage of labor. So your body will literally go into a fight or flight mode, and it'll cut off labor. Having your adrenaline raised like that, it's gonna shut your body off, and that's not good to start labor then stop like that. Especially when it's like an active labor phase, like a not active labor, but like going on, like it's like the real contractions and stuff. Your adrenaline will shut that off. It will shut your body down for real. You cannot just jump into that like that. Having no one focused on you, on the mom. Yeah, you need that support. That's why I say get a doula. That is why I say get a doula. If you know that your man or whoever you want to be at the hospital with you or be at the house with you, you know they ain't gonna be doing their job, and you know they're not gonna know what to do to keep you sane and calm you down and all. So you need to get a doula, somebody that's trained, somebody that knows what they're doing. You need that continuous support, that walking you around, that encouraging you, that bending to your every need and want. That is what you need during labor. That is what you deserve during labor. You're bringing a whole force into this world. For real, you need all the love, guidance, encouragement, and motivation you can literally get. That is what you need. That is what you deserve. And every woman deserves that. It doesn't matter who you are, what number child you want, hospital or home. You deserve that love. For real. The last thing is be induced before your body's ready. Ooh, this is a horrible one to do. I am so against inducing, because the thing is, that is literally tricking your body, using a fake hormone to trick your body into thinking you are ready for labor. When you do that, sometimes your body's not going to open up. I've heard of women not opening up. Like they'll get to maybe 3 or 9 and won't open up. Now you're open. Your body's fighting against you because your body and your baby was not ready to do what they needed to do. You forced them into that. Inducing is not okay. Your due date is an estimation. It's not the exact thing. That's not like life or death. If your baby don't come on this day, you're going to die. Your baby's going to die. That's not the thing at all. That is nowhere near what is supposed to be happening. So literally, you just shouldn't get induced, okay? So much can happen. So much can happen to your baby from that synthetic drug, synthetic hormone that it's in there. So much can happen to you and your baby just from getting that. Inductions are not safe at all, because if it's trying to force your body to open up and your body fighting against it, then you have a whole nother problem. Then guess what? They're gonna be like, C-section. You need to have a C-section. Knowing the risk of you not opening up because your body's not ready and you're forcing it to. And you don't want a C-section. Then they're going to C-section because you did not let your baby and your body tell you when it was ready. So yes, I love you guys. Those are just 13 ways to make labor harder and longer. Do not do these. Learn. Find somebody that can teach you. Preferably not a doctor, because they're probably not going to be honest or 100% with you. Find a doula. You don't even have to get a doula for like birth and stuff. Just get one and do just pregnancy only, where you can just learn what's going on with you. That is literally what you need and what you deserve. And when you know what you deserve, you're going to do better, okay? I love you guys. Talk to you later.